Good Saturday evening, South Mississippi. Meteorologist Taylor Graham here joining you from the newsroom. Of course, we do not have an early evening newscast tonight due to college football, but we will be having our 10 o'clock newscast on ABC and CBS after the game this evening. In terms of the weather, we actually are looking at a fairly active pattern going into the next several days. But as for tonight, things have been nice and calm, a bit mild though for the end of November. Not too bad, all things considered. And we'll go ahead and take a look over into Jones Park there. This is a live look from our Hancock Winnie Bank Tower Cam in Gulfport. We are seeing the Harbor Lights going on tonight. A beautiful night to check that out. It's not too chilly outside. Like I said, for November standards, that's not bad. We're sitting in the upper 50s right now. A little breezy with winds out of the east. And for the most part, it looks like temperatures are staying in the 50s this evening. We're not going to be seeing a huge drop in temperatures overnight tonight. We're going to be keeping a little bit of that breeze out of the east and southeast, especially along the coast. So, while it is on the cool side for the most part, not overly chilly. There is a small chance for a few stray showers this evening and overnight tonight. Rain chances look a little bit higher tomorrow morning. Not by much, but we will be watching an approaching cold front moving in from the north and west. Could bring with it a few showers, although it overall looks like a lot of that rain with that cold front may dissipate before it passes through South Mississippi. But just a heads up, tomorrow you may be seeing a few stray showers. It is going to be mostly cloudy tomorrow. Those of us on the coast are going to be warming up into the upper 60s. There's a chance that our inland areas may only reach the low 60s. It really all depends on the timing of this cold front. If it moves in a little bit faster, inland areas, you may be a little bit cooler on Sunday afternoon. There is a small chance for a few stray showers or isolated showers tomorrow as we get into midday in the afternoon, but even if you see any rain tomorrow, it is going to be pretty light. Looking at First Alert Radar right now, we see a few very light showers moving into Pearl River County. These are probably just a few sprinkles at this point. So again, a stray shower, not completely out of the question overnight tonight. That cold front I've been talking about, well, that's still a good ways to our north and west. That's going to be getting closer to South Mississippi tomorrow morning, and it will be moving throughout the day tomorrow. And along that front, we may see a few showers. It looks like it's going to be pretty light. I also want to briefly talk about what's going on in the Midwest. Major winter storm going on in Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, throughout Michigan, Indiana. A good bit of snow falling in parts of the Midwest today. And I don't know if you caught maybe the Illinois Northwestern football game. They've been seeing quite a bit of snow for that game. So that's been a little interesting to watch. So a lot of travel headaches as well for this Thanksgiving weekend for parts in the Midwest with all of that snow. Now, obviously, we are not going to be seeing that here in South Mississippi, but we do have a good bit of rain on the way Monday night into Tuesday. As for us, obviously, way too warm for that. We have temperatures along the Gulf Coast in the upper 50s, even seeing some 60s in parts of Louisiana, but where we can see areas impacted by that cold front a little bit more. Little Rock now at 47. We see 48 over in Tunica. So we will see that cooler air move in by the end of Sunday and into Monday morning. It's not going to be a drastic drop in temperatures, but by Monday morning, we should be back into the 40s. So overnight tonight, our temperatures generally will stay pretty steady in the 50s. And there's that approaching cold front. We can see those showers associated with that. Watch as I play this out on Futurecast. They really fizzle out by the time they get to us. And also look at the difference in temperatures. Now, I would say our inland areas still have a chance of getting into the 60s tomorrow, but there may be a big temperature gradient depending on how quickly this cold front is going to be moving through our area. I am more confident that along the coast, high temperatures are going to be in the upper 60s, but inland areas could be quite a bit cooler. And then as we get into Sunday night into Monday, cooler air moves in from the north, dropping our temperatures back down into the mid to upper 40s by Monday morning. By Monday afternoon, we may start to see a few showers begin to move into South Mississippi. Generally looks like, though, our best chance of rain is going to be Monday night into Tuesday morning. And with this round of rain, it could be heavy at times. That's not completely out of the question. As far as a severe weather threat goes, not as concerned with that. However, what we're really watching, this is a wider view, is a low pressure system that's going to be moving or trekking right along the Gulf Coast. And based off of this track, we have a pretty high chance of seeing rain in some form or fashion. Generally looks like Monday night into Tuesday morning, although some showers will be possible Monday afternoon. And it may get heavy at times. We'll have to watch out for that. There is a low wind threat of seeing some flooding rainfall Monday night into Tuesday. With that being said, we really do need more rain across the area, especially right along the immediate coast. The last round that we had some rainfall, many of us missed out on that. So we've got a pretty good chance of getting some much needed rain Monday into Tuesday, with us still having drought conditions that may limit the flooding potential, but if we get too much rainfall all at once, some isolated flooding not out of the question. Then as that system pushes off towards the east, we will see cooler, drier air move in behind it. Wednesday overall is looking pretty dry. So at least for Monday and Tuesday, many of us are going to be picking up about a ½ an inch up to 1.5 inches of rain. If we do see some of those heavier downpours, we could see some higher totals in addition to that. Most of the week is looking fairly active. So our next best chance of rain, definitely going to be Monday night. However, as we get into Thursday and Friday, we're already looking at a decent chance of seeing more showers and storms. Now, the exact timing of that is still unknown at this point. Generally looks like, though, we are going to be entering into a pretty active pattern by the middle to end of the week. Now, Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday, things are looking drier, but Thursday and Friday, you may want to keep your rain gear nearby. So looking in the upper levels, we've got a ridge of high pressure that's going to be over the southern Gulf. We're going to be seeing a pretty active jet stream almost right on top of the northern Gulf Coast. That's likely going to lead to a pretty active pattern over parts of Texas, Louisiana, including us here in South Mississippi. We may see multiple rounds of rain Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday of this upcoming week. And with multiple rounds of rain, it could get heavy at times. Now, I would take these numbers with a grain of salt, but there is a potential by the end of this upcoming week, we could have 2 to 4 inches of rain, and we can see that swath of rain there expected across parts of Texas, Louisiana, and us here in South Mississippi. Stay tuned on this. Rainfall forecast can always change, especially this far out. But I'm showing this to show you that generally it looks like we're going to be getting into a fairly active pattern as we get into the month of December. So November has been very dry for many of us. The first week of December, though, things are looking a bit more rainy, or a lot more rainy, I should say. But like I said, we really do need more rain across the area, especially here in Gulfport at the airport. We've only had a trace of rain for the month of November. If we don't see any rain tomorrow, this is going to be going down as one of the driest Novembers on record, at least for Gulfport. Moss Point, not as much, but at least since September 1st for the fall season, we have been running a deficit of rainfall. But it's very noticeable in Gulfport, south of I-10. Again, the airport where we keep a lot of those records. We just have not had much rain whatsoever, especially this month. So I may be speaking on behalf of some people, but I know my yard could really use more rainfall. I'm hopeful that we are going to be getting some much needed rain Monday into Tuesday, and likely at some point later in the week. In the tropics, well, not much going on. Tomorrow is the last day of hurricane season, and the U.S. this year really lucked out. We had no landfalling hurricanes across the mainland U.S., so that was really nice. Now, Hurricane Melissa, that was a historic hurricane that impacted Jamaica. That was a Category 5. This season looks like we're going to be ending up with 5 hurricanes, 4 of those becoming major hurricanes. But for us in South Mississippi, we really lucked out. Melissa, that was the last name used on the list. So it looks like we are not going to be using Nestor or Olga. Things are very quiet. And again, tomorrow, yay, it is the last day of hurricane season. Finally breathing a sigh of relief, although the past few weeks have been very, very quiet. But we are going to be entering into an active pattern in terms of showers and thunderstorms over the next several days. Now, not anticipating much of a severe weather threat Monday night into Tuesday, but there could be some heavy rainfall at times. So Monday into Tuesday, good chance of seeing some showers. Behind that system, things are going to be getting cooler. Wednesday is going to be one of our drier days of the week. Cold in the morning, starting off in the 30s. And then as we get into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, even though rain chances are at 30 to 40%, there's a good chance we're going to be increasing those rain chances as we get a little bit more information or confidence in the forecast. Generally does look like by the end of the week, things are going to be much more active. Tomorrow, if you have plans this weekend, maybe doing a little more Christmas shopping, doing some decorating, just be aware there could be a few light showers here or there. Those of us on the coast are going to be in the upper 60s. Some inland spots are going to be cooler than that. Really all depends on how quickly this cold front is going to be pushing through our area. But in terms of rain tomorrow, not expecting a ton, but a few isolated showers are going to be possible. So time now is 8:22. We will have our 10 o'clock newscast coming up tonight after the Iron Bowl, and it should be coming up at 10 on the dot on CBS. So we hope you will join us then for the latest weather and news here in South Mississippi.